My delicious little babies. So you got two videos going up now. Okay, my delicious little babies. This is the second one. It's come back to ready to install. Okay, my delicious little babies. So what's happened is it's just totally cut me off my previous video, which is now uploading, my delicious little babies. And it seems that YouTube, good old YouTube is not happy with me again, so we're back on a blank tape again, my delicious little babies. Anyway, couldn't give a fiddler's F, quite frankly. Now then, my delicious little babies. Oh, another thing I want to mention, if you go on to our lovely, not in that way, our lovely mornings space with space Mal K. Okay, my delicious babies on Rumble. Okay, my delicious babies. I usually go through DuckDuckGo and then type it in there. That's what I do. But anybody can use, I should imagine, a search engine of their choice. And with our dear little Mal, anyway, I already mentioned about the straw man, on another one of that. Well, anyway, I've mentioned it forever. The fact of the matter is, my delicious babies, but what our dear little Mal and her dear husband Rob does, not in that way. They're so lovely. What she does is she breaks it down. So from World War II, my delicious babies, okay, ones were only meant to pay tax. You know, that word tax, which usually frightens the living daylights out of mankind. There we are, my delicious babies, okay? Which is why you find a lot of businessmen go to other places so that they can avoid, there we are, the TAX, tax. You know what I mean, my delicious little babies? Well, in World War II, you only have to listen to our lovely dear little Malcare and a dear husband, bless their beautiful dear little souls, not in that way. She'll be done telling you, because she covers all of this. Okay, she's a journalist, they're journalists, and this is what they do. They are professional proper, there we are, journalists, not like what you see with many, okay? I know, there we are, who I advertise, many lovely, not personally, clearly, but, many wonderful journalists, but they're very few and far between, if you follow me. You know what I mean? My delicious little babies, yes. Well, this tax was only supposed to be for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks. How many decades are we now, my delicious little babies, since World War II? I rest my case, what I'm saying. Do you see what I'm saying? They're robbing little bees, man. There we are. And everybody need to understand it now. Tax, there we are, is voluntary. And I remember, because when I was looking all up years ago to do with the straw man and with everything I kind, I was looking at all of the sites, and tax, there we are, is voluntary. But just like the water, just like the television, just like the council tax, they have a little pathetic, whoever the piece of shit is, signature. They have our letters in capital names, that we're lost at sea. Well, we're not lost at sea because, as you can see, I'm alive and breathing, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? We're classed as, I don't like this word, we seem to keep hearing a lot of it, dead entities, my delicious little babies, we're lost at sea. No, we're not. We're alive and breathing. There we are, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? This is what they're not a wanting. There we are, many to know. Okay, my delicious little babies, however, this is not going well for them. Please, on my previous video, please go back and take a listen to that video that I mentioned on my previous video. Now then, 2 last videos, and then I'm going to be over and out. Okay, my delicious babies. So the next one, this uploader happens to have 31,000 subscribers. And by the way, for the previous video on previous, that's now been uploaded, however long that's going to take, whatever o'clock. Bless that dear soul, okay? And anybody in the comments, who are also not putting up with this shit, bless all of them as well, my delicious babies, and let this continue. There we are, and let it get larger, okay? So it's so colossal now that they don't know what to do, isn't it? Okay. You see what it is, they want to make you, they want to break you, but you see what they seem to be not understanding now, there we are, quite clearly, is that they're breaking their own damn system. Okay, yes, okay. Right, now then, so 31,000 subscribers. This is called capital U, all on YouTube, my delicious babies, under, space, then a little writing the, and then space, capital B, bonnet. Okay, my delicious babies, so always spaces in old YouTube. Should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, you're going to love this one as well. Under the bonnet. Okay, my delicious babies. So when I was looking for videos, I found this one. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, I do happen, there we are, to have an interest, there we are, in cars. Actually, I suppose, really, if I look back, I really feel I should have been a mechanic. You know what I mean? My delicious babies. There we are. I really reckon, you know, getting your hands dirty, there we are, goes a long way. You know what I mean? My delicious babies, yes. Now then, the video should read, and this is over 26 minutes long, my delicious little babies. Is it? Or is it the other one that I'm going to mention? No, I think that was 18. My thoughts. I know the first one was about, oh gosh, is that about 30 minutes? No, 36 minutes, just over. Oh, anyway, I could have got mixed up with these two here. Anyway, my delicious little babies. This video should read, with under the bonnet, 11 features manufacturers, listen to this, my delicious little babies, you're going to love this, okay, removed that are finally, there we are, coming back. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, one of them is, you know, like the oil. We've all been there, my delicious babies. Okay, so you got the oil dipstick. So, ding, ding, dong, dong, common sense. If you've got to check your oil, okay, you usually have a dipstick. So if the oil is below the line, okay, then you need to top the oil up. There we are. It's ding, ding, dong, dong, common sense. But what they also talk about on this video, my delicious babies, I'm not being sarcastic to you, my delicious babies. I'm just pointing common sense, there we are, things out, okay? What they also mention, it's to do with the brakes and to do with everything else. Now, of course, anybody knows who drives that, you know, you lift the handbrake, don't you? My delicious little babies, case, so you know when it's on the way out. I've been there many times, you know what I mean? My delicious, I'm not talking about myself, you know what I mean? There we are. I've got decades, there we are to go, you know what I mean? My delicious babies. I'm never going to put the brakes on, you know what I mean? My delicious babies, not a chance. But anybody knows that if you can just lift the handbrake up straight like that, okay, so you hear the click, 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 do you know what I mean? But if it goes up that, well, anyway, it's common sense, isn't it? Ding, ding, dong, dong, for anybody who drives, that, you know, the brake is going to be on the way out. But if you've got buttons and everything, that can really F things up. Okay, this is really interesting to listen to, my delicious babies. I'm really super duper pleased I've come across this. Anyway, to talk a lot about BMW. Yeah, do you remember, my delicious babies, when a Mini, a beautiful little Mini, there we are, used to look like a Mini. And then, of course, BMW got involved. Okay, then they started making the Mini larger. Do you see what I'm saying, my delicious babies? And I personally felt, there we are, and I actually know somebody who bought a Mini, and they said, I hate this car, Carla. I really hate it. They got rid of it. They got a completely different car. Do you know what I mean? But they'll know who they are. So very much love to you and your family, my little lovelies. Not in, obviously everybody knows, not in that way, not in that way. But yeah, couldn't stand it. You know what I mean? Why are you taking a beautiful, decent car and then, you know, just turning it into something that looked dirty and putrid? Now, do you see what I'm saying, okay? And then they still had the audacity, there we are, to call it a Mini. How can it be a Mini? A Mini is a Mini. It's a tiny, tiny car. So how can you call it with a BMW wheels and alloys? And how can you call it a Mini? Damn right, silliness, man. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? I wouldn't buy one of those. If I was a millionaire tomorrow, you wouldn't see myself buy anything like that now. I don't, personally, I do not even like the BMW. I do not like the Mercedes. There's a lot of cars that I just do not like. Bring back the old-fashioned Escorts. Bring back the old-fashioned Sierras and Sapphires, and bring all them back. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? Bring back the Capri, you know, bring back the Cortina. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? For the older generation, bless the beautiful dear little souls, bring back the Morris Minor. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? And stop all this shit. You know, that's my thoughts. Anyway, my delicious babies, now finally, This uploader happens to have 32.3 thousand subscribers. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now then, you're going to like this one as well. This uploader is called Capital W. And again, like I just said, they're all in YouTube. Weird. Okay, Weird. I spelt it out, my delicious little babies. There's a lot of weird things going on in the world, isn't there, my delicious little babies? Space, capital H, Hollywood, and then space, capital M, movie, and then space, capital F, facts. Okay, my delicious little babies. So once tapped into old YouTube, in the old space bar, my delicious babies, should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, with all spaces, weird Hollywood movie facts. Okay, my delicious babies is something else. A little gem there we are. I come across my delicious little babies. You'll know what I mean. There we are when you listen to it. This is about is that 30? Anyway, I've got mixed up with the two times on this one, my delicious little babies. The video should read the $6 million man in brackets 1973. 20 weird facts you didn't know. Okay, my delicious little babies, I'm just going to repeat this again for you, shall I? Yes. The $6 million man in brackets 1973. 20 weird facts you didn't know. Yes, my delicious babies, so now I'm going to close my book. And please remember that... Can you see my delicious little babies? Yes. Okay. Now then, and remember the little robin bees, because there's lots of them in there, my delicious babies. I took the gate the other day, and there was a little robin that I took, you know what I mean? Okay. There's going to be more of those who are going to be, shall we just say, there we go. Let's pop that one there. Who are going to be disappearing, aren't they, my delicious little babies, if you follow me, okay? Especially, there we are, as more and more and more wake up, and especially as more and more, shall we say, there we are, that they got caught out now, there we are, they got caught out now, isn't it? There's going to be more and more, yes. So, yeah, this $6 million man, everybody remembers this. I remember it. I mean, I was born in 73. Anyway, some of the comments, again, on any of these videos, my delicious babies, okay? I'm not asking everybody to scroll and just to look at comments. I'm just saying, please and thank you, just to take a little look, because the reason why I'm saying it, my delicious babies, is for, there we are, very good reason. Okay, my delicious babies, and it's a case of different videos. There we are, taking I'm in pieces, bits and pieces. That's just a song, my delicious babies. Go back to the year of that song. I'm talking about when you take bits and pieces out. There we are, ding ding dong dong. It all comes together. Do you see what I'm saying, my delicious babies? But in the meantime, for all of us, wherever you are in the world, my little beautifuls, we all stand together. Okay? So anyway, so until my next video, my delicious little babies, I'm awfully sorry about what's happened. Anyway, it just happens every day. Okay? But they moved it, because sometimes they do it at night, and sometimes they do it in the morning, and then they move it, and then it just F's up my videos. Okay, my delicious little babies, but I'm not doing it all over again. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay? Because after a while, there we are, it just pees you off. I feel sorry for everybody who has to edit videos, actually. It can be very draining, can't it, my delicious babies, you know, to take out the things now, there we are, that really should stay, let's just say, stumbled there for a reason, should really stay there. Nothing should be edited. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? Yes. Okay. So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings to each and every one of you. And may your beautiful little selves, your beautiful little families, there we are, all be fully protected. And how I love you also. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? Can you see? Yeah. Okay, my delicious little babies, so until my next video, thank you so very much for listening. As always, you're so beautiful, wonderful, delicious. I give you a big bear hug. works. Okay, my delicious babies. So until my next video, thank you for any likes, thank you for any views. Okay, for the occasional comments. There we are. How I love you also. Okay, so we're going to see now upload in this video whether they're going to stick me on that, you know, light grey, dark grey, you know, blank tape, you know what I mean? Because when YouTube's not happy, this is what you get. You see what I'm saying, okay? So that's another thing I want to say. So how can they do all this now then, if you really look at it? How can they do all this if they're not been listening already? Okay, my delicious babies. Ding, ding, dong, dong. Okay, how I love you also. Take care. Thank you. Good night. If it's night time. Night, night. Sleep tight. Watch your bed bugs don't bite. And if it's morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, have the most beautiful and super duper and delicious time. Because you only get one life, my little beautifuls, okay? Some will say about 10 or 20 now. In reality, we only, let's just say, take one, take two, take one. Okay, my delicious babies. Love ya. Bye.